Are you doing it through the school Zoom or just like on your own?
It's the school, my school account on Zoom and everything.
So maybe there is like a limit.
It might be a limit. We'll find out. If it is, then it's fine. We'll keep talking and then I'll just
Do a separate one, you think?
maybe a separate one or just keep the recording that I have and go with that.
Go with that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So my name's Natalie Brown now. Thank you. So I'm a Fit You mentor in training here at Chico State, doing a project and you are?
I'm Natalie. I just recently transferred to Chico from SF State after a little pause during COVID.
Okay.
Today I just moved everything my whole life to Chico just to like, grow and more than just academically. So I figured, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How did you like SF State, you said?
It was cool, but I just feel like it's a commuter school, so it was really hard to like mingle or like to kind of create a community there.
Yeah.
You really just go get your stuff and then go back home, travel. So it was nice. I think it was coming from like a really small high school. It was like a good shock, like, out of my comfort zone. But then looking at higher education, I was like, it's small or like limited,
Yeah.
But it was nice. So San Francisco, you could explore and it changes every day. It was nice.
I haven't ever been there, so I
definitely at least once. Every
Yeah.
place I just got at least once.
At least
small. It's not like LA, it's small, 12 by 12 miles, and it's like it's drastically different just from a couple streets. So
gotcha.
Highly recommend.
Cool. Okay. So you feel like it wasn't really your place and you wanted to try something new and
yeah, I mean, I was even living off the campus too, so it was hard to. Luckily, I got to move, even though I'm from the East Bay, and I could have commuted the first 2.5 years. I lived in San Francisco, well, technically Daly City, which is like the border, and I was like fortunate enough to be with my best friend, and it was both of our first times away from home, and it was nice. It was just, I think, because how easy it was to go home, we would take part every weekend, So of course, we weren't really like focused on school or we were focused on school, but we weren't like involved, I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's probably important.
Yeah.
To be involved. So what kind of brought you in here today?
Just I think I just need to create a routine. I've noticed that throughout the years, like I am more successful with kind of planning out my day or like creating a routine so that I don't steer off course. Because when I do, it's just like the dam is broken and I'm just like just cool. And I do find myself like I can create healthy habits. It's just as soon as I get bored, I just pop off. So I think I do want like more ideas to incorporate. I'm like, okay, I have this. I've been doing this for a while. I'm kind of tired of that. Let's put something new. Kind of having things, exactly, switching it up. And I'm really into cooking myself, and so I studied abroad in Denmark, and eating out wasn't a thing out there. So I learned like to really cook like all my meals at home all the time. So it was nice. Just trying to get back into that rhythm.
Okay, so you're just really looking for a solid plan to help you get through your week, and that isn't the same thing every day, basically.
Yeah, I can do it for a couple weeks, but then after that, I'm just like, okay, the same criteria. I'm like, I gotta switch it up a little bit, and, or just find variations of the same thing,
So you're hoping to kind of find a solution, maybe different meals throughout the week, or just different, maybe even exercise at all?
Yeah. So I actually was on the women's rugby team, and so that created a good just motivation to get out, and more of a social thing too. But I find myself like in between that space. What do I do? And so I tried kickboxing, and so I'm actually still with that gym. But even then, I'm like, I haven't built up to that level. So I'm like, okay, like that was rough. Now, how do I build up to that again?
Yeah. So you've gotten a little bit discouraged and kind of fell out of routines and you're just trying to stick with it and keep going to get up to that level.
Right,
that you
because
like.
it goes from like 0 to 100,
Yeah.
you know? And so I'm like, okay, how do I make this more of like a daily thing to where it doesn't feel like such an event that I need motivation to go and then to actually pull through from it? Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you want it to feel more like it's just like that daily rhythm?
Yeah, like
No
a daily task.
extra. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a daily task and I just get out the way and not like, it's like in my head, like, okay, I gotta do this. And then I just like push it off, push it off, push it off, you know, and then, so I just don't know if like created, you know, or just even having somebody like accountable or like to check in with. I think that was huge because, I mean, I'll cheat myself, but like, I feel like I wouldn't let other people down or like, if we're on the same page, you know, like I wouldn't, you know.
So maybe even having someone to do it with, or just someone to keep you accountable, like you said.
Yeah, like a check-in. I mean, even doing it with too, it's just more just like talking with people's schedules and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
but either way, yeah.
Okay. So what are you more interested in and working on today, if at all? Nutrition or exercise or anything else that you have in mind?
I would say a little bit of both. I think I could manage a good balance between the two.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the cooking part, I think it's a matter of just, I think I can make it as long as I'm organized with it. Like I can do, you know, more at home stuff. Um, and then exercising, yeah. I think that's the part where I'm just like, I don't even know where to start with that piece.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so maybe exercise might be a little bit more of a focus.
Yeah, I would say it's like a 30, maybe like 40, 60. Like 40,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. So yeah, we can definitely work on a little bit of both. It sounds like you want to get more of a structure out of both of these items. Make sure that it's part of the daily cycle and you're getting into it and you enjoy it and it's not boring or just ordinary. So it's fun for you.
Right.
So I want to probably do more planning and something like that. But if you want to take a look at this, it kind of has some ideas related to nutrition. And then I also have one for exercise if you want to look at that as well.
Oh, there's some topics. Do you want me to pick some for you or?
Yeah, it's up to you. It's basically just a list of topics. If you see one that you really are drawn to, or it's just that you really want to talk about today, then we can work on that. And we can also pick one I have one from an exercise bubble thing as well.
So I think if you want me to choose,
And
I
if
would
you have
say-
more than one, that's fine too.
okay. I think I'm most successful with creating this. So I feel like I have this down for the most part, meal prepping, just because it's more of, I would say, recipe ideas. I really do struggle with the hunger fullness signals. I think I was just talking about it with my roommate. Is like I don't know if it's like a cultural thing, like being Latin, like we weren't allowed to leave the table until everything was cleaned off, you know. And so I catch myself like, oh, I'm still full, but you know, I gotta, So I would say this. I never realized it until recently. Kind of same thing with intuitive eating. I kind of follow for the most part, like I try to at least like a Mediterranean style cuisine. I think flavor wise I like it. So I would say I'm pretty cool off of this one. And these I'm starting to take some supplements or like vitamins just because I have like hormonal imbalances. So it's more of like what I found out so far. So if you do have extra things, and then the weight and body image. I think that's something I've never even tapped into, but I'm sure I have. It's subconsciously there. But yeah.
Okay, so it kind of sounds like you're leaning towards wanting to hear more about hunger and fullness signals, intuitive eating, kind of tapping into that, just listening to your body and what your body wants.
Okay. And I think that'll just kind of ripple, I think, to weight body image too. You know? It's more of like the mental part of
the mental part of
Yeah.
food and
yeah,
health and everything.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we can definitely dive into that. Do you want to look at exercise now, or do you want to kind of look at that later?
Up to you.
Okay. I can show you that now, and then we can kind of split it up
Okay.
and get into both.
Yeah, the all or nothing mentality.
Yeah.
I think this is the part that's where I feel overwhelmed when it talks about the calories and the size and
Mhm.
fats. That's when I start to I'm like, okay, I'm already thinking about exercises and what I got to do and what I'm targeting, and then I got the calorie count and all this, and then but I do know you have to be like in a deficit and stuff like that. But I'm like, I start freaking out.
That's right.
Yeah, strategies for sneaking activity into your day. Um, and I guess a variety. I think I do this. I do practice self-care a little too much.
There's no such thing as too much self-care, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm for sure my motives, like what's my drivers in that aspect.
Okay, yeah. So you're kind of looking into, like you said, previously, just adding that variety and sneaking it into your day and having the motivation to go about it as any other part of your day, a daily routine.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I think I'm now realizing it is definitely more of like a mental game. I think once I'm out there and I can do it, like I'm there, I know I can do it. So yeah, like I know I feel the benefits. I do practice self-care. I just don't know why there's like that 0 to 100 part of it. But yeah.
So yeah, you know you can do it. You have that.
I just gotta get there.
Drive, you just gotta, reach that point.
I think I have the athleticism, and then once we're on the field and we just, it just goes. But it's just the part of just showing up. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
Okay. So we can kind of dive into a little bit of intuitive eating and hungerfulness signals first, if that's okay with you. And how the rest of this kind of will go is we'll kind of talk about your drivers, what you notice when you're eating or just listening to your body throughout the day. And then we'll kind of talk about how that aligns with your values, everything. And then we'll kind of try and plan something so that we can kind of try and experiment at the end and see if it works out for you. So, okay, we'll dive into that first. So tell me a little bit about your daily eating habits, what you eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I'm stuck on avocado toast with eggs. I think I do every variety I can based on what I have.
Yeah.
So I really will just put like avocado, squeeze some lemon juice on there. I'll either put tomatoes or cucumbers. I have different seasonings of like a dill mix. Or I'll put kind of just like cayenne sometimes or everything but the bagel on put the egg on top. If I have cheese, I will put cheese in there. But I'm kind of just like stuck on feta only. I make a lot of Mediterranean salads, just kind of just chop up cucumber, tomato, olives. I love red onions. And if I want to, I like add a can of tuna in there. And I kind of meal prep that like a big chunk and just kind of hash it out for lunch or in between classes. I'll come home or something. And then for dinner, I usually stick to like chicken legs, like drumsticks, and do my sides. Yeah, that's where I'm like, I'll get bored. I'll like kind of sometimes just cut up. I'll make like homemade French fries a lot, and like actually not like the freezer ones or anything. Like peel them, cut them, yeah, and cabbage, zucchini. I'll kind of just like chop it up and then saute that. But that's kind of like the cycle I'm stuck on. Oh, and then I eat a lot of fruits and snacks. So like pineapple, I eat a lot of mandarins, apples with peanut butter. I try to incorporate. I eat a lot of hummus, so hummus with, and I use carrots as like my chips.
Nice.
And multigrain like crackers and stuff like that. So that's like my cuisine that I'm stuck in right now.
Yeah.
That's my. But what happens is like that's my go-tos. But I would say out of the week, I'm eating that probably 3. I'll substitute once or twice in between there with like fast food or usually towards the weekend and stuff like that. So I would say Monday through Friday, I stick to that pretty closely. But as soon as Friday hits or weekends, it's like crowd drinking or anything, we go eat out, or if it's like, or some days I'll just run off to snacks all day if it's super busy with classes. That I really won't eat lunch. It's more just breakfast and dinner. Or just a really big breakfast. And then just, yeah, kind of just throughout the day. I feel like sometimes I'm not eating all 3 meals. I would like, for surely getting 2, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Okay. So it kind of sounds like you have a pretty set schedule in place as far as what you're eating. And it sounds like you really enjoy it too. We've got lots of fruits and vegetables incorporated. And then it also sounds like on the weekends you just like to veg out and just kind of take it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more kind of about what you notice as you're eating these foods throughout the day, even on the weekends. How do you feel? Do you notice anything when you're eating your food?
I think I've noticed, like, I'll feel immediately after if I'm satisfied or not. And I'll start to notice, like, okay, like, I know the reason I've stuck with, like, avocado, like, toast and eggs and stuff is because I think with the amount of fats, I am satisfied for a longer period that I can make it through my day. I think I'm not being good enough with, like, meal prepping snacks and stuff like that. I have, like, a little bento where, like, I'll stack up and I'll have, like, pumpkin seeds and I'll have like popcorn, my mandarins in there, what else, trail mix and stuff like that. And it's good when I do it, but I'm not doing it, I would say, every day to like do that. And then I'll do like a smoothie with all my vitamins that I need, but I probably am doing that like twice a week. Versus like, okay, having me like, I need all these vitamins every single day that I don't. What I'm feeling, it's just more of like, as soon as I fall off, I'm just like, I'll start next week. I feel like it's a typical kind of mindset, but I'm like, okay. But I also catch myself like, if I can, I will, you know? Like last week, I was just like, oh, I'm really craving Wingstop, you know, but then I started watching like this cooking show, and then I got motivated and made like a fat salmon salad type thing. So I feel like I'll be in a funk. Like I'll usually just like mentally just like couldn't be bothered. So that's when I usually resort to fast food. But if I'm like in a good mental space, I'm just like, oh yeah, we could do this cooking. Like I actually find it really therapeutic. Like, yeah. So I don't know what else. Like, I don't know if I missed anything.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah, so it kind of sounds like you notice that when you're in a good mental space and you're feeling good about yourself, you're usually making foods and prepping foods out that make your body feel good throughout the day. And you kind of notice that if you're just not maybe tired or just run down from a long week or something, you'll choose fast foods. Yeah. Does that make you feel on the weekends versus other foods that you eat throughout the week?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I feel just digestively or just everything. And it sucks because I'll eat something and I'm like, man, it tastes good, but I'm like, it doesn't even actually taste that good sometimes, or I feel like it doesn't even satisfy the cravings. I'm like, and then you have like the money part. I'm like, why am I spending so much money when I can be doing this? But I think it's just more of a matter of like time. But yeah, obviously I know I do feel worse with eating fast food than I do at home. So you notice that difference between those foods that you make at home and you feel good eating versus the fast food that you eat maybe on the weekends or just other times when you're just not feeling totally yourself. And that is usually a pretty normal thing. It also seems like
you'll notice that, um, yeah, you just kind of notice that food that you make at home is just making your body feel better. And you notice that you probably want to be in the right mental space when you're creating those meals.
Yeah, and then
about right.
Yeah, for sure. And then like honestly, like the fast food isn't even worth it majority of the time, you know, like I don't even want, you know what I mean? I think it's a matter of just if I was disciplined enough to have it available, then I wouldn't resort to that. I would say I do pretty good at not having a lot of temptations at home. I'm like, if I really, really want it, I'm craving it, then I'll go out and get it. But I usually don't like say like ice cream, or I'm more of a sweet tooth and savory, like I'm so, and like in a, or if I'm like in a snacking thing, I'll have like popcorn a lot, I would say, to be like, okay, it's quick and boom. But yeah, I try really hard not to have like my not triggers, but like my temptations. Not the temptations at home.
Yeah. So you feel there's probably a couple foods that you feel are like trigger foods or tempting foods.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like ice cream, I don't even buy it unless like I'm like, okay, it's time of the month. I'm really, really craving it. Can't do it. Then I'll go out, get it, just one serving, and then I don't bring anything back. Yeah.
And how would you say do you feel about those temptation foods? How do they make you feel? Like not necessarily eating them, but what are your feelings towards them?
Oh, they're like straight binge eating triggers.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'll mindlessly, you know, eat them, I would say. Like, yeah, I cut off Oreos a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Just because, like it's almost like it's never enough, or, and then I'm not even full from it, or, there's no satisfaction. I think it's just, I don't know if it's the motion or if it's just like the mastication or what, but yeah, I think it can trigger like binge eating, but I'm not really good about it now.
Yeah. So you kind of feel like maybe you feel out of control when you're around those foods, like you said, Oreos you cut out, ice cream sounds like it might be one of those foods. What have you heard about like, I know you said that you probably heard of hunger fullness signals and stuff like that. What have you heard as far as intuitive eating and knowing when your body's hungry and what your body's hungry for? What have you heard about
that? I've heard intuitive eating of like knowing, okay, if you're craving this, that means you need this. But I haven't really memorized the table, I guess I could say, of like, I know it stems from something else. You know, you could be lacking magnesium, you're lacking iron, or you're lacking, but that's what I know about intuitive eating. For the hunger fullness, it is, I think that part I just don't know how to go about it. Like I don't know what that signal is. Yeah. If it's like a physical thing, or is it a mental thing, or like physically you really cannot anymore. It's more of, of like, oh, you already have too much on your plate, you should only eat half. Like, you know what I mean? Or if like my servings are off to where I'm like, maybe what I served is 2 plates worth, but I made it 1 and I'm forcing myself to. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you mind if I share a little bit about intuitive eating and mindfulness? Okay. So kind of what you said about intuitive eating, it's a little bit of that. It's also more so of making sure, because probably when you see children eating, they know what they want to eat, they know what they're hungry for, and they'll usually eat it. And they usually can go throughout the day feeling fine and good. So it's kind of the same. Children are given, when we're born, we have this internal signal that tells us what we're hungry for and when to stop, when to start, that kind of thing. And as we get older, those the outward society tells us when we should be hungry, what we should be hungry for, that kind of thing. But it's really just a matter of listening to what our body says. So if, say, your body's hungry for a sandwich, turkey sandwich or something.
Mhm.
The goal is to kind of listen to that and maybe make yourself a turkey sandwich, or something along the lines of that. And usually your body will know and tell you when to start eating when you're hungry and when to stop eating. And it is a process. It takes a while to kind of get into that, but and it takes practice. But as soon as you get into that, you'll notice that your body will start to crave more of the nutrients that you need, of the foods that you need, just in general, that keep your body functioning healthy and feeling good on a daily basis. What are your thoughts about that?
I just, when you had said like, oh, when you're craving a sandwich, I always like, is that the same thing as like a craving then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, basically your body, I mean, your body will give you cravings or feelings
Okay.
of wanting a certain food. And the goal is to kind of let your body have that because it will know when to stop and when to start and stop eating.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I actually think it would resonate a lot to why I just like will go fast food or something. It's like, oh, I crave just like not so much Wingstop, it's more of just like, oh, the chicken with the sauce, you know, or like things like that.
Yeah.
And same thing with like In-N-Out. I'm just like, I don't even get the bun or anything. Like I personally enjoy it more like protein style. And then I'll be like craving that, but I just don't have the ingredients at home, you know. So I'm just like, oh, let me just go out and do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't. I never really crave fast food. It's more just like
Like,
specific
The
things.
food that's in
Specifically,
there.
yeah. So yeah, I feel like I can. In that case, then I am pretty in tune. And like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it sounds like you kind of know exactly what your body's hungry for and when to
Yeah,
start
because then it's like it
eating.
starts obsessing. Yeah.
It's just a matter of making sure that you have those ingredients at home, and that you can plan it all out.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like or finding something that's like similar, or finding like something that could satisfy that without actually having to get that specific thing too.
Okay. Yeah. So you also maybe want to find alternatives to certain foods that you're craving, that you prefer probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then I could switch to like the idea instead of I'm craving Wingstop to be like, oh, I'm just craving just wings. I can have it out here. Yeah.
Okay. So what is most important to you about this kind of change that you're looking to make?
I think just the clean eating. I'm a public health major and like we start learning about, I mean, I'm in all these health classes and it's just like, you know better. And I think that's what help ruins it more for me is that like, it feels more intense because I'm like, I know better. I know about the oils. I know about black oil or the preservatives that they put and the amount of pesticides and, you know, the pros of eating organic versus not. And like, I think that part of the guilt also eats at me too. So I think it has slowly become like a binge eating thing. I'm just like eating away, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say definitely just to be better, I would say, like, because I've felt the benefits of it. And I know right now I'm not like, I'm off track basically.
Okay. Yeah. So you kind of feel like, you kind of feel a little bit of guilt, but you also want to be a good role model, in terms of public health, is what you're learning. And, so you want to be able to set that example for other people.
And just kind of create like the healthy habits, you know, like of going, it is kind of going back. If my focus isn't convenience, my focus is more quality, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So yeah, so you want more quality, you want just a better plan throughout your week that helps you feel good in your body, that satisfies your cravings, and that'll be able to kind of set an example for other people around you that are in public health and like you. Yeah, okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10, I should say, how confident are you that you could possibly make a sort of change in your schedule?
Schedule.
or plan as far as
Oh, yeah, like food
food
eating.
and.
I would say for sure, like 8.5, 9 even.
Okay,
Like
okay.
I am ready. I think that's the point where I'm at, is like I've been seeking.
Mhm.
And so, so yeah, I would say definitely. Like I
Okay.
have I feel comfortable with the equipment I have, the skills I have, basically I'm confident in my abilities to make it happen, yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. So, why did you choose such a high number and not a lower number, like a 6 or a 7, maybe?
Just because I feel like I have had created some healthy habits. I just feel like they could be better.
Okay,
And that I've already established how much time it would take, and I've like um of what it is to be successful. I just haven't been completing it. So, but I know, I guess, I know what it takes, and I know I'm capable of it. I just haven't been doing it.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think if that accountability aspect comes into play, or just even guidance, or just that reinforcement of it is possible, like instead of just falling into you're a student, and just go get whatever is cheapest,
yeah,
and then but I think, yeah, financially, mentally, or financially and physically, I know I can make it happen. I think I'm just lacking the mental part.
okay, yeah, okay. So let me see if I got this
Mhm.
all right. So you're kind of just looking for an overall, good system to help keep in place, that will work for you and feel good for you as far as, buying food items and, making those recipes each week or every day, that really work for you and resonate with you and, feel good in your body, as well as satisfying cravings. And what you want to do is find a solution that helps it stick, rather than physically or, financially, like you said, but more mentally, because you know that physically and financially it's not a problem, but mentally you're just trying to get it all.
Like it's not just like one big event. This is daily life,
Mhm.
And I think I put so much emphasis of like I'm gonna make this one dish,
Mhm.
and I'll buy everything for that, but then I don't buy anything else for the in between.
Okay,
You
yeah,
know.
okay. So what are you looking for as far as, say you go grocery shopping? Do you think that you could make a list or something along the lines of that as far as when you go grocery shopping, or do you have any other ideas?
No, I could definitely make a list.
Okay.
That's something I used to do a lot. I would have it on my phone, just like what proteins and
Yeah,
I just think that list, I'm caught in where I buy my usuals,
okay, Yeah.
And so I don't really have like I think the recipes in mind to
Yeah.
be like, oh, I'm looking specifically for this. I just kind of go into autopilot and get, just my eggs, chicken, my usual veggies, and some fruits. And I'll buy maybe some snacks in between, and whatever, like my snacks are like usually just like crackers with like different types of sardines. It's like they have like a lot of different sauces and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I feel like I've done pretty good on my own about like I really try not to get over processed foods.
Yeah.
Like the trick is to stay on the outer edge of the market and stuff.
Yeah.
Not in between the aisles and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think sweets too. I definitely cut it out so much that really ice cream is only my only thing left.
Okay, yeah.
What else? I don't bake as much. I think that part too. I think just health wise, but I think mentally, I miss baking. But then I'm like, okay, I should be eating like a loaf of banana bread, But yeah, I could definitely make a list.
Okay, so you feel as though you have strategy and you're good to go there. It's just a matter of kind of adding some variety aside from your regular eggs, chicken, veggies, and fruit, like you said.
Yeah.
And you also feel as though ice cream is kind of your only
comfort food for
comfort
sure.
food. Yeah,
it definitely is.
Okay, yeah. And that's great. When you're shopping, do you feel good when you take like a tub of ice cream or you grab a box of ice cream bars or whatever your choice is? How do you feel when you pick that up from the grocery store?
like I said, I actually don't buy good, like ice cream on like a weekly basis.
Okay.
It's really just when I'm at home and if I'm super craving it,
Okay.
then I'll go out and get it. Yeah. I guess I feel really good about seeing other foods and it's easy to walk past them now. I
Mhm.
guess it sounds funny, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like I don't have a lot of my temptations have gone down. Like
That's good.
before I'd be like, oh, in the aisle, I'd be like, maybe I'll just grab a candy, just for the road or something, or like when you're checking out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I should. But lately I've just like focused. And I think maybe a list would be good because I'm just like, there is no room for error. It's just like, oh, get this stuff, get out, go. Like I'm on a mission. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So you feel, as though just having that list in front of you with some other extra things to help you keep you, filled throughout the week, would really work for you?
So I think just keep me focused. I think that's what happens is either I get bored and lose focus you know, or just more just like tired or laziness, which I think can still be, but I can still make it convenient for me here. Or like not convenient, but accessible.
Okay.
It's nice or something. So, yeah.
So do you already have a day in your week that you usually go grocery shopping? Or do you set any time aside during your week?
I would say usually do Sundays.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do Sundays for like my major stuff.
Mhm.
If I need anything in between, I'll go like during the week. Or if
Yeah.
my roommate's going, I'll be like, oh, hey, you can tag along.
Okay.
But for the most part, I try to do Sundays. Lately, I feel like I haven't been eating enough to where it used to be every Sunday, but now it's every other.
Okay.
So I've been, I'd say once every 2 weeks I go shopping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it kind of sounds like you have a set day, pretty much every other Sunday, you're able to get
Mhm.
enough groceries that keep you going for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
about 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's see. A couple different things in here. Grocery list. Oh, here we go. So this is kind of a meal planning tip handout that I have. So it kind of goes over some of the meals that you already know how to make. And then breakfast and snacks, or you can add lunch, dinner, anything like that. And then kind of a shopping list that you can cut out and use.
Oh, cool.
Do you want to use this at all?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So what ideas do you have currently as far as adding new foods to your shopping list, your current shopping list?
New foods. I'm trying to get better at incorporating different types of fruits and veggies. Usually that's why I got the pineapple. I usually just get apples and strawberries. That's like get rid of them.
Yeah.
And clementines or mandarins.
Yeah.
And veggie wise, yeah, I just stick to cucumber, tomato, cabbage. There's something else I just bought. But I want to incorporate like more broccoli, asparagus, and zucchini. I bought leeks and made like a leek potato soup just to try that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to expand on the fruits and veggies.
Okay.
Because I'm caught in like the same 4 or 5. I am gonna make my own. I want to make like my own plant-based milk.
Okay.
Yeah, oat milk.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I cut out dairy for the most part, except for yogurt. I think I used to eat like plain Greek yogurt. And feta cheese. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's my key ones. Expanding on that. And yeah, incorporating, I guess, more. I don't actually eat a lot of pork or just red meat on my own.
Yeah.
Only when like I guess going out I would eat red meat.
Okay.
But on my own I eat a lot of chicken and fish. Again, tuna and turkey, sardines and stuff like that. But I really feel like I don't really enjoy it that much though, like at home and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess incorporating more fish or more,
Okay.
yeah.
So you feel like red meat's kind of just not really your thing, it's more of,
Yeah, I think that's like only like an event thing. If like we're having a party, like
yeah.
I'll make tri-tip or something, but I don't really eat it on a daily. Or if I go out, if I'm like, okay, if I get burrito, I will get steak, you know, because
Yeah.
they cut it, they do it all, but I really stick to chicken.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah, I do. And I guess I want to figure out how to make like healthier sweets to just like satiate the craving sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to go about that. But
Okay. So I have a little recipe book, and these are more, I would say, fall recipes, because I have this in the fall, or had it made in the fall. So they have more fall themed foods, but you can get these foods, I mean, in the market any time of the year. If you want to have it,
sure,
it's totally yours, yeah. And then as far as finding different, as more recipes than that, because obviously that's just a couple different ones. As far as finding different recipes that include different and new foods, what have you heard as far as like online websites, like recipe websites?
I think I do see a lot of what is that called? Like quick and easy ones.
Yeah.
You know, like the 30-minute ones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm like a little extra, but like I want to make everything from scratch. And then, you know, like I know it's more, like I said, the whole convenience side of things, but I think what happens is like if I don't have every single ingredient, I won't even attempt it. And then I'll just like, you know, just kind of come up with something on my own or similar.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have with social media, I have saved so many, but then I just don't act on any of them.
Okay.
You know, and so I definitely can get inspiration from social media, but there's just like a disconnect to actually just like I don't know if it's more overwhelmed with how many ideas there are. Just like, okay, just pick one and do it.
Yeah. Okay. So you probably maybe feel kind of overwhelmed by the amount online.
Yeah.
How do you feel more about like a physical copy of recipes or a cookbook or something like that? Is that less overwhelming or about the same?
I would say it's less. I actually bought one for like the whole 30.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if you heard of that one.
I have not actually.
It's actually really cool. Like the whole it's whole 30, so it's like 30 days you cut out. I think that's what's like the recipes are really cool because it's like you cut out a lot of processed foods and dairy, and I think eggs were okay though. But you cut out like alcohol, and it's just for 30 days, and it's really just like protein, fats, and veggies. And I found like the recipe's really easy. I just think like with the whole alcohol thing, I'm like, I'm out, I'm social. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna get the results from that book because I have the alcohol. So I'm like, don't even attempt it.
Yeah.
I guess I'm really harsh with myself. But I would say a book definitely is I guess it's not something that I'm used to, but I definitely could go that avenue. I have a couple that I'm like, okay, this sounds good, and I'll do it. But they're just kind of collecting dust because it's not like a normal thing. Even growing up, we never used cookbooks. It was more just like family tradition thing. They're like, yeah, I just knew. And I'm like, how do you learn from that? You know?
Yeah.
What's the recipe? They're like, there is none. I'm like, great.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So yeah, I would say yeah, definitely. I guess reading a book would be easier than because it's so easy to get distracted on social media. You know, be like, oh, there's this recipe I'm looking for, and I'm like, oh wait, look at this. Oh wait, and then
yeah. So it
this.
kind of you feel that it gets distracting online.
Yes.
Having that physical copy probably won't be as distracting because it's just the pages with recipes. And
Right.
right.
Yeah, keeps you focused. Yeah, you're right.
So How many cookbooks do you have?
3.
Like 3?
Mhm.
Okay.
One was the Whole30. The other one was the other 2 were gifts. One was like a Weight Watchers one.
Okay.
Subliminal messages with those, but
Yeah. Do you mind if I share one with you that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have that I really like? So it's called I believe it's 5-ingredient college cookbook. It's on Amazon for like $7.
oh no.
And I don't know if you want to write it. I have a pen, if you want to write it down. But it basically is just full, it's a bit of a smaller book, so it's very focused, but it has pretty much 5 main ingredients. Some of them have smaller, more ingredients, like seasonings and oils and whatnot. But it kind of just, it helps because college
this?
students. See. Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
perfect.
Yeah, and it basically just has, it's for students on a budget, basically. When you go shopping, it gives you the basic ingredients, super quick and easy, and it's still supposed to be super satisfying and help your body feel good.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
So there's that, and then, how do you feel? I mean, if you don't mind, me sharing a little bit about what some of my other clients have done that I've heard,
Sure.
as far as
I'm all
cooking,
ears.
shopping lists and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of my clients that I've heard will pick a day, like you said, during the week, go shopping. But they'll also pick a day prior where they write out all of their ingredients that they need, go through and make sure that it covers everything for the week or 2 weeks, however many, however long they're planning until their next grocery trip. And just writing down all those ingredients and making sure that they have everything that they need. And then going to the store the next day or 2 days later.
Already prepared.
Yeah, already prepared, ready
I
to
like
go.
that, yeah.
So that's kind of an option. Another option is to kind of just go to the store and just kind of browse. Like you said, if you want to stay around the outside, however you go about grocery shopping, and eye things and pick things out, and then find recipes later on that have all those ingredients in them. So that's kind of working on the outside in versus
Yeah.
inside out. So it's kind of just up to you and what you prefer.
Yeah, I recently actually did that. I have it on my list. That's the thing, is you just puts on a list. But
Yeah.
I want to make like beet hummus
Okay.
or start juicing,
Mhm.
of some
Okay,
sort.
yeah.
Just because I was like, okay, quicker way to get your, I'm never gonna like. I feel like I bought ginger and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, let me just.
Yeah.
It'd probably easier to prep this out because instead of doing it every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. I
Okay. Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Or being like, oh, that's interesting. Let me, see what I can find with that, and then next time around.
Yeah. Okay. So as far as you said, you usually go grocery shopping on Sundays. So, and you said you liked the idea of kind of writing out a list and then
Yeah,
going to
I already wrote here day before.
day before.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to kind of maybe do it on Saturdays, write out the list.
Yeah,
have it
or
good to
even just
go.
sometimes throughout the week, being like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So say, we kind of do a little experiment with this, where you write out your grocery list, everything that you need. Maybe like avocado and eggs for your basic breakfast, lunch, and dinners for maybe 1 week, and then the second week you do maybe something different. So it kind of switches it up. Oh,
I have it. I just,
yeah.
I think when it comes to like the recipes or something, I'm just like, I'm not ready to full switch yet. I don't know if it's gonna satisfy me, so then I don't
Okay.
make it, because I'm like, I'm not gonna just go on a whim and make this and then be like, oh, I'm still hungry afterwards, or
Yeah. Okay. So we could kind of, we'll make that into an experiment. We could try it just for a couple days where you do maybe your regular meals for 1 week that you like and make you feel good. And then the next week try different meals for that week. And maybe do 3 days or 2 days. I don't know how many days you want to try it and see how it feels.
You said 2 weeks, by
2 days. Okay, yeah. So we could try the following week. You try 2 2 days of new recipes and see how they make your body feel throughout the day.
Okay.
And if you end up liking them, you can add them to your yes list.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you cross it off the list, say that's
Really,
not
yeah.
it.
Okay.
So how do you
Alright.
feel about that experiment?
I feel like it's manageable. It's not too overwhelming. I
Mhm.
think because I'm just very intense. I feel like and
Yeah.
just be like all or nothing and be like,
Yeah,
okay, this week we're starting fresh, and then it's too much all
Too
at one
much
time to be
at
like,
once.
okay, every single day, be like, okay, let's now combat this. Let's combat this. It's more of like I want some sort of normalcy. So I
yeah.
think 2 days a week is definitely doable.
Okay, so yeah, let's give that a try. So you'll make your list, say on a Saturday, and then go grocery shopping the following day, get everything you need, maybe some new ingredients or maybe ones that you've already used. And you'll do your week of what you normally do, and then maybe the second week you'll do 2 days of new recipes. Try them out, see how you feel.
Well, I think it's even instead of the 2 weeks, I can probably do it within that same week.
That same
Yeah,
week,
yeah.
okay, yeah,
Because
that
I
works
think
too.
I already have that mental list of my basics.
Yeah.
So this shopping list the day before is perfect if when I'm gonna incorporate the new ones.
Okay, yeah,
To be like, okay, this is what I'm also looking out for, that I already know my eyes are trained for like my
Yeah.
avocado eggs, you know?
Yes. yeah,
So yeah, definitely.
yeah, and so you kind of feel like if you add those new things too, you'll feel like you'll open your eyes more to different options in the store and kind of see new things and pick new things and
Right, and then knowing me, I'll be like, how do I make this better? Like, or whatever it is, yeah, like,
Yeah.
I always like to like add a little extra.
yeah,
Things
you're always
to like-
looking to add something fun and new to something.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. So that sounds like that you'll really enjoy doing that.
Yeah,
And then afterwards, if you don't like how you felt after those new recipes or new ingredients or snacks, then that's obviously not for you, but you
Okay.
can try something else, maybe different recipes the next time, or you could do just one day of new recipes and play around with it. And then kind of go from there. If you really do like it in the way that it makes you feel trying new things and cooking new recipes, then you could build on that however many days you do of new recipes versus your basics that you have. How does that sound?
sounds good.
Okay,
Doable.
okay. And so kind of going from that, so we kind of have an experiment set up. Do you feel there are any barriers or I guess that's the word, barriers to completing this experiment?
I think just on my own, it's just time management,
Okay.
I think,
Yeah.
but I'm not worried, I guess financially or, yeah, and things like that, I think I definitely can do it. Just need to set a time. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, I feel confident about that.
Okay, cool. So you feel just maybe time management a little bit.
Just remember to actually
Remembering.
do it, yeah.
Okay. Do you have any ideas about helping you remember throughout the week to write a list or go grocery shopping and cook all those kinds of things?
I could set reminders. I usually do that now.
Okay.
I could set a reminder to do my shopping list the day before.
Okay.
Just like sit down and be like, what do I want this week? And force myself to open up those cookbooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you feel like setting a reminder would really help, making sure you get that done and are trying new things.
Yeah, like reminding myself to actually like allocate time for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So kind of feel like we got something set up for
Yeah.
the week,
Have a plan.
and you feel confident and excited about it.
Mhm.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, just this piece, I was just like, yeah, why? It's crazy. It sounds simple. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't I think of this? Of
Yeah.
preparing beforehand. But I think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, and then kind of write down the outcome of whatever happens, how you feel, maybe even tuning in when you're eating your basic meals, listening to how you feel, and when you're trying the new foods as well.
okay.
And just writing down how you think it went, and acting upon that, changing whatever you need to change, if anything,
Okay.
for the next time.
Alrighty, I'll try to make a quick little mental notes.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Doable?
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. All right, sounds good. Okay.